Anti-social media? Will the president's plan to make foreign visitors submit the past 5 years of their social media history before coming make people delete their plans to visit the U.S.? Plus, Daredevil star Charlie Cox talks about having a case of puppy love in his holiday rom-com, Merv. Louis Pullman on bringing a legend to life on the big screen in the new movie, The Testament of Ann Lee. Feel Good Friday about a holiday haul from Oprah Daily.
My favorite things and The View. You know I love that.
And The View's 12 Days of Holiday Giveaways continues. Here come Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Joy Behar, Anna Navarro, Sunny Hostin, and Alyssa Farah Griffin. Now let's get things started.
Should get a shot of this gorgeous audience.
I know, it's beautiful.
Really, all colorful and beautiful. Yeah. Look at you. Look at these two snow bunnies over here.
Look at the color-coordinated couple over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you're living in a foreign country and you want to visit the United States, you'll have some extra hoops to jump through, thanks to the Trump administration. He wants foreign tourists to submit 5 years of social media history before they can come here. Watch.
Are you concerned at all that if that's implemented, there would be a decline in tourism next year? And what sort of material do you think is objectionable?
Well, we just want people to come over here and safe. We want safety, we want security, we want to make sure we're not letting the wrong people come into our country.
So I ask you, is this going to kill tourism in this country? I mean, it's down as it is, 6-point-something%, which translates to $12 billion approximately in lost revenue.
It's actually significantly more. It's about $250 billion
in loss
of revenue to the United States because of this dip in tourism we saw in 2025, which has been by experts largely attributed to the political environment in the United States, the tariffs just driving up costs of goods that you're going to buy once you're here. And then the president's also put some other visa restrictions in place that are already making it more expensive to come here. So one of the biggest revenue generators to the United States is foreign tourism. People want to come here. They want to spend their money here. It creates jobs. And he dodged it in that clip. He was asked pretty much point blank, what is this going to do to the tourism industry? And he didn't have a good answer.
So why? Why? Doesn't he know what it's going to do?
He of all people should, because to be honest, it affects hotels in a huge way, the hospitality industry. But listen, every one of us, I'm sure, cares about making sure people who want to do harm don't come into this country. That's not really what this is about. We're actually very good at catching people who have threatened the U.S., who have espoused any kind of beliefs that are hateful long before they come into the United States. In the post-9/11 era, that's something we do very effectively. Okay. This is much more about looking at people's social media. I think it's weeding out ideological views.
Who is going to do this?
I would think it has to be AI. There's no way. The manpower, 5 years of my social media, you wouldn't see that person for like weeks on end. It would take so long to go through. So it makes no sense.
5 seconds of my social media and I'd be banned from entering this country for life.
But I thought you were already.
Well, no, I'm banned from entering Nicaragua, which is a dictatorship for the same reason. Because so to me, here's a critical difference. So they're asking for 5 years access to 5 years of social media. To my shock, this is actually for countries that are in the visa waiver program, which means countries where people don't need a visa to come to the United States. They just apply through this other application. And I was shocked because it's actually mostly white countries. Usually when he's banning people from this country, it's black and brown people he's banning. Right. But this is Australia, and it's Belgium, and it's the Netherlands. It's 42 countries.
Who's going to tell him?
Well, maybe if he's watching, because I think he watches, he'll understand that, it's his favorite countries that are going to... Look, here's to me, what's the crucial distinction. If the purpose of looking at the social media is to weed out people who are writing death to America, who may be associating with terrorist groups, who, there's clear red flags that they may pose a threat to America, I say, good. If the scrutinizing of the social media is about criticism of Trump and eliminating people who may criticize Trump, that is what dictators do in places like Nicaragua, like Venezuela, like Cuba, like North Korea. They have every right to disagree with Trump, to criticize him in the same way that we do in this country. Therein lies the difference. Is it about intimidating people and silencing people not to criticize Trump, or is it about
he literally took the words right out of my mouth. My big thing is I was guessing this was on the heels of a lot of the things we saw on campuses, because a lot of the people, they trace their social media, and when you have like rabid pro-Hamas people on there, and Hamas, by the way, a lot of all terrorist organizations are not just anti-Jewish, they're anti-Western civilization. That second part people miss, which means when they finish with all the Jews, they will come for all Western civilization.
They're domestic terrorists too, though. They're white terrorists.
Of course, but they don't need a visa, and they don't need this program. What they're trying to vet is the people that, if you hate this country and want to see death to this country, you probably shouldn't come here. I agree. But the slippery slope of that is what you're saying, is if it becomes someone that criticizes Trump or maybe has a policy difference with Trump that's not terrorist, just maybe progressive or something different, it could very quickly turn into complete censorship of anyone coming to this country.
My understanding of the law, at least, is that you can criticize a government, and that is freedom of speech. That doesn't make you a terrorist because you may not agree with governmental policy. And as far as Trump is concerned, he doesn't seem to mind that white Afrikaners are coming here who subscribe to apartheid and are anti-black. He doesn't seem to have a problem with that type of terrorism. But what I will say this is, I'm concerned with the fact that the administration is demanding that prospective foreign students unlock their social media profiles, and those who refuse to do so will be, they're suspected of hiding their activity. And there are just several high-profile foreign students have been detained for voicing support for, let's say, Palestinian, or arguing against genocide, arguing against war crimes. That is an ideological thing, and that's not necessarily anti-American. And so I'm really bothered by the fact that the administration may be trying to silence people, this is supposed to be the land of free speech.
Well,
But I want to be careful
I'm troubled by it.
in not conflating these, because I cannot express enough how big of an economic devastation this will be to the U.S. tourism industry. You're talking about the UK, some of our closest allies in this U.S. visa waiver program, who are coming in many times, multiple times throughout the year, and they're already seeing backlogs at some of these embassies that they're saying, your appointment to get a visa is going to be delayed weeks and weeks. People are going to cancel trips. They're not going to come. These are very tourism focused. There is a difference with student visas. I think that people who are coming, they're going to reap the benefits of an American education. They're likely going to go back to their home country with those, with what they've learned from it. I think that having some guardrails around what they can espouse in standards when it gets into violence, supporting terrorist organizations, supporting genocidal language, that I think is a very different issue. This just makes
should be against the law. Where's the Supreme Court on this invasion of privacy?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some legal action.
There'll be some challenges.
And this is why we saw last week the president of FIFA giving him that fake medal, because when you look at the list, look at the list of these countries, many of these countries are actually playing in the World Cup, and the people from these countries are going to want to attend these games. And so it behooves the president of FIFA to make sure that the people paying thousands of dollars to buy tickets and come to this country and that are going to spend it in our American cities are able to get the visas. So he needs to give him another medal.
The Hot Topics continue on The Weekend View, streaming on ABC News Live Saturday and Sundays at 7:30 and 9:30 a.m. And there's a third streaming time on Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Thanks to our sponsor, Rock Skincare. We'll be right back.